Good evening, everyone. I would like to call this Redevelopment Commission meeting for January 7th to order at 6:36 p.m. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence for all the victims in the New Orleans attack. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Can I get a roll call, please?
Mr. Carnahan?
Here.
Ms. Rivera?
Here.
Mr. Recupero?
Here.
Mr. Becker?
Here.
Mr. Parker?
Here.
Ms. Dixon?
Here.
Mr. Teal?
Here.
Ms. Haskell? Here. Mr. Vassar?
Here.
Ms. Sandberg?
Present.
Mr. Bungie?
Present.
Mr. Austin?
Present.
Ms. Hyduk is present.
Thank you. Okay, first thing on the agenda is election of officers. Item 1, Redevelopment Commission President.
I'd like to nominate Rich Teal.
Second. We have a motion for Rich Teal by Mary Joan Dixon, seconded by Mr. Carnahan. Can I get a roll call, please?
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Ms. Rivera?
Yes.
Mr. Recupero?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Ms. Dixon?
Yes.
Mr. Teal?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Item number 2, Redevelopment Commission Vice President.
I'll make a motion to nominate Chuck Becker as Vice President.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion for Chuck Becker by Nick Recupero, seconded by Greg Parker. Can I get a roll call, please?
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Ms. Rivera?
Yes.
Mr. Recupero?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Ms. Dixon?
Yes.
Mr. Teal?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Item 3, Redevelopment Commission Secretary.
Take a motion for Julie Rivera to be named Secretary of the Redevelopment Commission.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion for Julie Rivera by Mary Joan Dixon, seconded by Chuck Becker. Can I get a roll call?
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Ms. Rivera?
Yes.
Mr. Recupero?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Ms. Dixon?
Yes.
Mr. Teal?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. All right, moving on to the consent agenda. Item 1, approval of the November 19th, December 3rd, and regular meeting minutes for December 17th, 2024, special meeting minutes.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion to approve by Mr. Recupero, seconded by Ms. Dixon. Roll call, please.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Ms. Rivera?
Yes.
Mr. Recupero?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Ms. Dixon?
Yes.
Mr. Teal?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Moving on to new business, explore everyday recipient to present in March of 2025 meeting. So this is something that we can, take on the February meeting, to present. One thing I'd like to discuss, though, is if we possibly do this just biannually now instead of like a quarterly thing.
Because we're running out of...
Yeah, that's exactly the thought.
I agree with you. I think it keeps it special too.
And in that way, this would be the first half of the year is to present in March, and then come July, we discuss again. So mid part of the second half, whether it be November, December, whatever, we can figure that one out later. So I don't know if we just want to defer this until
February?
the February meeting, and then that way we can choose and then present in March.
Motion to defer to February.
Second it.
We have a motion to defer to the February meeting by Mr. Carnahan, seconded by Mr. Parker. Can I get a roll call, please?
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Ms. Rivera?
Yes.
Mr. Recupero?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Ms. Dixon?
Yes.
Mr. Teal?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Moving on to school board liaison comments. Ms. Haskell?
Good evening. We are doing really good. James Ball's gym floor, we had to fix the foundation, the cement foundation, because there was water damage. And so the new floor and everything is in, the kids are back using it again. And then I would like to ask if you guys can let Don know when it comes to the as-built and stuff, if he can communicate with Paul from Skillman, not Alex from Turanga. When we met back in September, the town council with the Hanover School Board, Don was there. I believe we asked him to do the communicating with Paul. And from what I understand, he's been emailing Alex. Well, Paul's been waiting for responses. He waited 6 weeks for a response, and he was supposed to get some at the end of that week in November, and he didn't get it till right before Christmas. So we did turn around during Christmas break and New Year's week, turned around 2 weeks and gave a response back. So hopefully we can get these done. We want to get them done, but when we have to wait 11 weeks for a response so we know what to do next, it's a little difficult.
Okay. Is that something we would just have Jeff instruct on?
Yeah.
To,
And
okay.
if he needs Paul's information, the superintendent can give it to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Vassar?
Good evening. Two things. I've arranged for Mr. Carnahan to receive the MacArthur Elementary School newsletter. You asked last month what was going on, so I figured this would be the easiest way for you to be able to communicate what's going on with MacArthur. So if you could share that with your fellow.
I will share that with the rest of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And secondly, we, as you just did here a few minutes ago, we have our reorganization tomorrow morning. So I do not know if I'll be the liaison after tonight, so just in case you don't see me.
You can still show up if you'd like.
Our door is always open. I appreciate that. I hope to be back. but
Always welcome.
We don't know.
Anything else?
No, sir.
All right, moving on to written communications. I do not have anything. Anybody have anything? All right, moving on to public comment for Redevelopment Commission. Public comment twice. Third call, public comment. Seeing none, this meeting is adjourned at 6:44 p.m.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Town of Cedar Lake Town Council meeting for January 7th, 2025. Will you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by an opening prayer.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for this opportunity to pray with you this evening. I'm Father Patrick. I'm from Holy Name Parish here at Cedar Lake. Let us pray. Merciful God, at the threshold of this new year, we pray that you will open doors needing to be opened and close the ones needing to be shut tight, Lord. Thank you for all that you have allowed us to experience this past year, the joyful along with the difficult, which has reminded us of our need to trust in you. Forgive our failings, for the times we have let worry and fear control our lives, for allowing pride and selfishness to keep us from living close to you. By relying on your mercy, give us hearts open to compassion and forgiveness. In every situation, may we cease judging and seek for the ways our hearts are being stretched. Make us steadfast and courageous for the road ahead. Let your grace flow freely through us in our ways, so that you will be honored by our lives and others will be drawn to you. Give us wisdom and discernment to listen to your voice, to understand your will, and to follow the path you have laid for us. May we reflect your mercy and hope to a world that so desperately needs your presence and healing. And may we, at the doorway of this new year, commit ourselves to a genuine and living relationship with Jesus, our Savior and Lord.
Amen.
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 Thank you very much.
Thank you, Father. This meeting is called to order at 7:09 p.m. Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Here.
Julie Rivera? Here. Chuck Becker?
Here.
Mary Joan Dixon?
Here.
Richard Field?
Here.
Greg Parker?
Here.
Nick Recupido?
Here.
I am present. Terrence Conley?
Here.
Jeff Bungie?
Present.
David Austin?
Present. Thank you. We'll start with election of officers. Number 1, Town Council President.
Make a motion to elect Nick Recupido.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Carnahan, seconded by Mr. Parker, to nominate myself, Mr. Cupido, as Town Council President. Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera? Yes. Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Joan Dixon?
Yes.
Richard Field?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nick Recupido?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Thank you. Number 2, Town Council Vice President.
I'll make a motion to nominate Greg Parker.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Carnahan, seconded by Ms. Dixon, to nominate Greg Parker as Town Council Vice President. Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera? Yes. Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Joan Dixon?
Yes.
Richard Field?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nick Recupido?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Thank you all for the opportunity again. I look forward to 2025.
Yeah, thank you as well.
Okay, first off, I want to introduce a new employee we have in town, Mr. Terry Connolly. He's our planning director. Started the end of last year, December 30th. So, welcome to town, and thank you for taking this opportunity to serve our residents and citizens.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yep, thank you. Okay, we'll open up the floor to public comment on agenda items only. Public comment on agenda items only. Last call. Nobody online, Ms. Sandberg?
No attendees.
Okay. Public comment on agenda items is now closed. Consent agenda. Minutes, November 19, 2024, special consolidated meeting minutes. December 3rd, 2024, meeting minutes. The motion to approve the consent agenda?
one's Chad.
No.
You got it. I got it, okay.
Okay. Chuck, you got to second it?
No, second.
All right. Motion made by Ms. Dixon, seconded by Mr. Becker to approve these minutes. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Richard Seal?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nick Recupedo?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Ordinances and resolutions. Number one, ordinance number 1504, Lamb Public Way Vacation. This would be an adoptive reading. Probably don't have to ask you, but I will, Attorney Austin. Everything's good on legal end?
Legals are in order. Second adoptive reading is tonight.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Parker, by title only, please.
Town of Cedar Lake, Lake County, Indiana, ordinance number 1504. An ordinance vacating public way in the town of Cedar Lake, Lake County, Indiana, and all matters related thereto.
Thank you, sir. Although it's not on the agenda right now, we will open up the floor to remonstrance for this item before we consider adoption. Any public comment on it? Second call, last call. All right, remonstrance is now closed. Any discussion? If not, do we have a motion to adopt?
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Teal, seconded by Mr. Becker to adopt ordinance number 1504, Land Public Way Vacation. Any discussion? Roll call, please, Ms. Sandberg.
Robert Carnahan?
No.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Richard Seal?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nick Recupedo?
Yes, motion carries 6-1. Ordinance number 1504 is adopted. Attorney Austin?
Requires recordation.
Okay. Handled in your office?
I will do so.
Okay, thank you, sir. Number two, ordinance number 1507, Parks and Recreation Activities Fees. This item was passed at Parks and Recreation Board on January 2nd, 2025, with a vote of 4-0. Mr. Parker?
Town of Cedar Lake, Lake County, Indiana, ordinance number 1507. An ordinance amending town parks and recreation activities fee ordinance number 1322. Being an ordinance amending town parks and recreation activities fee schedule for the town Department of Parks and Recreation and all matters related thereto, repealing all town code sections and ordinance or parts thereof in conflicts therewith and all matters related thereto. Repealing all town code sections and ordinances or parts thereof in conflict herewith and all matters related thereto.
Thanks, sir. Attorney Austin, legals?
The legals are in order.
Yeah.
Your superintendent's here to explain.
Yep, yes, sir. Ms. Ray?
Hi
Good
there,
evening.
everyone.
Hi.
We had to go back to the drawing board on this one and create a process for adopting fee schedules. So this is why you're seeing this ordinance and the change. But it was recommended, the fees are the same as they were last year, advertised. The only difference that we will have is the discount in the clubhouse rental, which was a $50 rental rate for non-for-profits. It will now be 25% of the rental fee to non-for-profits. So that's all that you'll be seeing as far as the discount of differences between the two.
Okay.
And you have the one thing in there where somebody visiting can use the dog park?
That will be in your next ordinance about the Clonisuk.
Oh, that's not in here?
Yes, this is
Okay.
the park activity fees. Dog park was adopted by a previous ordinance, so that will always be amended to, if we change fees on the dog park. But both of them are before you this evening.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Two reading ordinance.
This is a two-reading ordinance? Okay, thank you. Both of these will be?
Both
Attorney
of
Austin?
them.
Yeah,
Both of them.
okay. All right, we had the opening remarks by Ms. Ray. Any discussion? If not, is there a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance number 1507?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion by Ms. Dixon, seconded by Ms. Rivera, to approve the first reading of ordinance number 1507, Parks and Recreation Activity Fees. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Richard Seal?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nick Recupedo?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. This is an item that we were looking to have adopted tonight? Yeah,
Clears the books.
okay.
Motion to suspend the rules to have the second reading?
I'll second.
By title only.
By title only.
Thank you, Bob.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Carnahan, seconded by Mr. Teal, to suspend the rules to allow second reading of ordinance number 1507 by title only. No discussion, roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Richard Seal?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nick Recuperto?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Mr. Parker?
Town of Cedar Lake, Lake County, Indiana, ordinance number 1507, an ordinance amending town parks and recreation activities fee ordinance number 1322, being an ordinance amending town parks and recreation activity fee ordinance number 1242, being an ordinance amending activities fee schedule for the town department of parks and recreation, all matters related thereto. Repealing all town code sections and ordinances or parts thereof in conflict herewith and all matters related thereto. Repealing all town code sections and ordinances or parts thereof in conflict herewith and all matters related thereto.
Thank you, sir. Any council discussion? If not, there's a motion to adopt ordinance number 1507.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion made by Ms. Rivera, seconded by Mr. Becker to adopt ordinance number 1507. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Richard Seal?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nick Recuperto?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Ordinance number 1507 is hereby adopted.
Be recorded.
Okay. Handle with your firm, Dave, please?
We will.
Thank you. Number 3, ordinance number 1508, dog park fees. This item was passed at Parks and Recreation Board on January 2nd, 2025, with a vote of 4 in favor, 0 against. Mr. Parker, by title only, please.
Town of Cedar Lake, Lake County, Indiana, ordinance number 1508, an ordinance amending corrected town ordinance number 1467, being an ordinance establishing fee schedule for use of the Town of Cedar Lake Kiwanis Dog Park, including fund usage requirements, and further establishing rules and regulations for use of the Cedar Lake Kiwanis Dog Park facility, as well as all matters related thereto.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Ray, quick overview, please.
Yes, the reason that we are going through and adopting this fee schedule, we're not changing any of the fees from last year. They do remain the same, but we're going to be offering the opportunity at a 7-day pass to the community. So if we have visitors in the community or someone who just wants to do a trial before committing to the 1-year membership, it is a 7-day pass for 1 dog at $20 or a 7-day pass for 2 dogs at $25. That's just the addition to the fees for Kiwanis.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
as with the previous ordinance and initiative, this had a unanimous favorable recommendation from your park board.
Okay. Hopefully we can get it done tonight.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for the input. Is there a motion to approve, if there's no other discussion, is there a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance number 1508?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion made by Ms. Dixon, seconded by Mr. Becker to approve the first reading of ordinance number 1508, dog park fees. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Richard Seal?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nick Recuperto?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Anyone like to make the motion to suspend the rules to allow a second reading of 1508 by title only?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion made by Mr. Carnahan, seconded by Ms. Rivera to suspend the rules to allow a second reading of ordinance number 1508 by title only. Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Richard Seal?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nick Recuperto?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Mr. Parker, please.
Town of Cedar Lake, Lake County, Indiana, ordinance number 1508, an ordinance amended corrected town ordinance number 1467, being an ordinance establishing a fee schedule for use of the Town of Cedar Lake Kiwanis Dog Park, including fund usage requirements and further establishing rules and regulations for use of the Cedar Lake Kiwanis Dog Park facility, as well as all matters related thereto.
Thank you, sir. We had the second reading by title only. Is there any other discussion? If not, is there a motion to adopt?
I'll make a motion to adopt.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion by Ms. Dixon, seconded by Ms. Rivera to adopt ordinance number 1508, dog park fees. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Richard Seal?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nick Cupido?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Ordinance number 1508 is hereby adopted. Same rules, okay. Number 4, resolution number 1366, temporary loan 2017 A, B, and C bonds. Ms. Sandberg, did you have some information on this, or?
Yeah, this is a recurring item that you see each January and June. It's a timing issue with the tax collection and the lease rental payment due date. So upon receipt of the fall settlement that we received at the end of December, we repaid Resolution 1355 that you guys had previously approved back in July. And upon repayment of that temporary loan, that left a shortfall in the fund to make the January 15th lease rental payment. So this request is for a temporary loan from Fund 633 Wastewater Treatment Plant Special Fund to Fund 412 2017 RDA A, B, and C Bond Fund for the amount of $297,761.50, and the temporary loan will be repaid upon the spring settlement anticipated before the end of June.
Thank you. Mr. Parker, would you mind reading this resolution by title?
Town of Cedar Lake, Lake County, Indiana, resolution number 1366, a resolution authorizing a temporary loan for the 2017 RDA A, B, and C bonds of the town of Cedar Lake, Lake County, Indiana.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Sandberg gave a great overview of it. Any questions for her or anyone else? Just standard protocol each year.
Unfortunately, with this bond issue.
Okay. All right, is there a motion to approve resolution number 1366?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion made by Mr. Carnahan, seconded by Mr. Teal to approve resolution number 1366. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Richard Seal?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nick Cupido?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Thank you. Move on to new business. Number 1, Board of Safety recommendation to hire Samuel Larillo as a part-time emergency medical technician contingent upon the transfer of his credentials from Illinois to Indiana. This was a recommendation with a vote of 5 in favor, 0 against at the December 16th, 2024 Board of Safety meeting. Chief Wilkening, good evening.
Good evening. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Especially you with the brand new baby.
Yeah, it's a happy one. Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
This recommendation is to take this, we're going to hire him full-time, but until his Illinois certifications get switched over to Indiana, we're going to work him part-time until we can get them all switched over. Right now, it takes a little time between Indiana, so he is the next full-time person. That would be the number 16th hire. And, but temporarily, while we wait, we're able to work him as an EMT on the ambulance to go from there. So with your approval tonight, we can start the paperwork, at least to get him out as a part-timer until we can get the full-time paperwork, or like I said, the certification switched over. So that he can be the next 16th hire, which has been budgeted for last year and this year, so.
Okay. Be nice to get that fully staffed, huh?
Yeah, it'd be nice to complete that big step in that goal, yeah.
Okay. Is there gonna be another process once everything gets switched over to get him to full-time, or is?
Well, no, he's been approved by the Board of Safety tentatively based upon whether or not his cert switch over, so.
Okay.
All we gotta do then is have the council approve him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
So I'm hoping by, I don't think it'll be done by the 20th, the next meeting. I don't.
Okay.
But hopefully, we are still waiting for one of our full-timers, or full-timers working part-time for, waiting on PERF to come back on him too, so he's still working in the part-time budget on full-time, so that should be coming back pretty quick now, since it's been a while, so.
Very good. All right, thank you, sir. Any questions for Chief Wilkening or anyone else? If not, is there a motion on this item? Made by Mr. Carnahan, seconded by Mr. Teal, to approve the Board of Safety recommendation to hire Samuel Larillo as a part-time emergency medical technician contingent upon the transfer of his credentials from Illinois to Indiana. Any discussion on the motion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Richard Field?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nick Recupedo?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Number 2, Board of Safety recommendation to hire Michael Maley and Brandon Zimmerman as volunteer firefighters. They were recommended with a vote of 5 in favor, 0 against at the December 16th, 2024 Board of Safety meeting. Chief?
I'll take this one too.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we now have a total of 4 volunteers that have been approved. These other 2 are, the last 2, they are currently signed up to go into the academy. We have one that's in EMT school, so we'll have 4 brand new volunteers in the next 6 months once they get through the academy. We have, like I said, we have 3 going into the academy. We have 1 that's in EMT school, so when he gets out of EMT school, he'll go in the academy in July or August. So by the end of the year, we should, by the middle of the year, we should have 3 volunteers on the street, and by the end of the year, we should have a total of 4 more volunteers.
Wow.
Yeah, and we're still taking applications, so, we have also got more applications come in since the announcement of the increase in the part-time, so.
Yeah,
There are people interested in been reaching out to us, and we got a process to go to first, so you should be seeing a few people coming in here pretty soon.
we were hoping that was gonna be successful. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So,
If the word's out, it's, people are interested, so,
Good deal. All right, thank you, sir.
thank you.
If there's no more discussion, is there a motion to approve?
So move.
You got
I'll
you.
second.
Mr. Carnahan got you there. Motion made by Mr. Carnahan, seconded by Mr. Teal, to approve this Board of Safety recommendation to hire Michael Maley and Brandon Zimmerman as volunteer firefighters. Any discussion?
Can I say one more thing?
Yes, sir.
These guys are also east side firefighters, so they would be able to respond to the new station once it's open.
Okay. Good deal. Thank you. All right, roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Richard Field?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nick Recupedo?
Yes, motion carries 7-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 3, extension of year 2025 contract for town manager. Mr. Bungy's looking for an extension.
It's very expensive.
You want it?
Obviously, Jeff wants to depart at some point this year. I think it's a safe manner to try to keep him around till at least June, so we have some sort of a transition, and a good one, to, for a potential new town manager. And, Nick and I have talked to him, and he is willing to stay beyond that if necessary, if we have trouble or whatever, but, 6 months would be good, wouldn't it, Jeff?
It would.
So, I'm gonna make a motion to extend his contract until June,
In June.
end of June, yes.
Same parameters existing from 2024?
Yes.
As far as compensation and that? Okay. So we have a motion by Mr. Parker to extend to June of 2025. Do we have a second?
I have a question. What if we did happen to find somebody sooner?
My question
If,
too.
with the overlap and stuff like that, with knowing what the funds are in there for a town manager, and how would that work?
Yeah. I think Greg's got maybe some clarification on that, Rich.
Yeah.
Well, there's the budget is around $130,000 for town manager now, and you're not gonna pay that out to a new town manager if he starts in the 4th month or the 5th month, and that still leaves room to cover Mr. Bunge's salary.
For some time.
Yeah.
Because, well, Jeff giving us a little bit of a deal, I guess.
Right, I get that, I just wanted to make sure, since I know, you know, what the max was on it, depending on what type of person we do get, as far as applicants and stuff like that, timing on it, you know, we don't know, you know, how long it takes for interview process and stuff like that. I was just thinking on the finance side of it, on how we can support the two. I understand that there will be a overlap, you know, whether it be several months, I don't know, but just as long as we know that, you know, the funds are there.
Yeah, I'm also concerned with until June, if we find someone, say, in March, and, you know, there's a process, takes a long time, but paying 2 town manager salaries, possibly, you know, for 2 or 3 months, could get pricey.
Jeff, are you okay with like a 30-day notice, you know, once we get rolling here? I'm
Well,
sure.
I mean, that was something that I thought we had kind of discussed or advanced about last time. You know, whatever you guys think is a comfortable transition, if you think it's 30 days, if you think it's 45 days, if you think it's 2 months, 60 days.
I didn't know if you had planned on like 6 months, you know, exactly. We're still, when you're talking about extending a contract, paying Jeff and then somebody comes on, or is there going to be some sort of like contingency in it where there's somebody else comes on and we have both of them for, say, 30 days or 45?
Well, and maybe this could be in Mr. Parker's motion, I don't know, but Jeff and I talked about it, and we talked about these concerns that were brought up in the past, but that there would be an understanding that once we were ready to, you know, send Jeff into retirement, I guess, so to say. I don't know if I said that, but, you know.
You call that out to pasture?
Out to pasture, okay, use a farm term. That maybe a 30-day notice, you know, would be workable for everybody.
I'm comfortable with that, just in case.
So that motion then, Greg, would that be for up to 6 months, and then depending on how this whole application process goes?
Well, I guess my concern is I haven't seen the application processes go smooth and quick yet. So I'd rather be looking at him than looking for him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just my concern.
I mean, if we have up till June.
And then if we don't have any qualified applicants or anything like that,
And we revisit it.
then in June, we extend again. Or have a discussion and...
If he's willing, certainly.
I'd be willing to have that discussion in another 5, 6 months.
Mr. President, I'd second that motion.
Okay. Bless you. All right, great discussion. We've got a motion by Mr. Parker, seconded by Mr. Teal, to extend the contract for town manager, Mr. Jeff Bunge, to the end of June 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Richard Thiel?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nick Recupedo?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Okay.
Well, better than I did the first time getting appointed, so.
Congratulations, Jeff. Number 4, update to town manager's job description.
Can we discuss it, or can we make some conversation on it?
Oh, yeah, First, Ms. Dixon.
The job description that was submitted, I have talked to Jen since, she would like to have the word, assist with the town budget. That was not, that was a question. And then also, to attend town council, board, and commission member meetings. It just said commission, so we want to add board, because some of our boards are known as boards. And then to include the bachelor's degree in finance, accounting, public administration, or related services, and at least 5 years' experience. And then Mr. Carnahan was concerned at the last visit of this about the state statute. If you feel, Bob, do you want the state statute within the job description, or do you want to just read to refer to the state statute? Do you want each one of those listed that?
You can refer to it, Bob, and you've got it covered.
Yeah, I
So
like
if you want it, yeah,
to refer to it, and then
Okay.
we can add this other stuff to it, but,
all right.
I like what the state has offered,
Correct.
for guidelines for a town manager.
I have a question about it though. So say you got somebody that had 10 years in the private sector in management, would they be excluded because of this? I mean,
I mean, it just says,
there's been great successes in other communities where somebody applied to be a town manager that came from the private sector, and, they think outside the box sometimes.
How does it state in the posting though, Jen? Does it say, required or like recommended type?
That's completely up to you.
Desired.
This job description states must possess, the bachelor's degree.
so we could,
So can we
just
say
change that to
desired?
desire.
Yeah, I would, I don't wanna pigeonhole
Yeah.
us.
Because that would very
That's
much,
fine.
yeah.
Yeah, just put desire, replace that with desire.
Okay. Let's see, what else are we at?
Can I interject a little something here?
Please.
I talked with Attorney Austin, about this particular matter last Friday, and being that, the way that it is listed, this job description is by town ordinance. And, just like you said, Greg, this practically comes verbatim from, state recommendations.
Yeah, my problem with that is they're always looking to preserve bureaucrats.
Well, okay, but I guess my understanding or my contention and clarification here is, if we're going to amend this job description, do we not have to do it by amending the ordinance?
The ordinance should match what you're requesting.
So I don't know if there's a lead time before we take on these recommendations and say this is what we want, because I'm sure there's going to be some time taken or needed to develop the verbiage to amend the ordinance.
So then what we need to do is direct the attorney to prepare an ordinance to include, this information. Correct?
If you want.
I think that's a good idea, Dave, and I would add to that, if you see anything else in there that would pigeonhole somebody that would make a good town manager from applying for this position.
I have had many experiences with the hiring of a town manager. And the guidelines of the statute are just that, guidelines for bringing in an executive, CEO, CFO style administrator. And most of what I will probably do with this, and it won't take long, is add language that says or equivalent or as presented. Some of the best lead executives I've worked with have been carpenters, they've been steel workers. I mean, it's just incredible the experience, the life experiences that then flow back into the job description itself, the actual physical what to do job. So that's what I would recommend you think about as you're taking this next journey for Cedar Lake.
And you're kind of reading my mind.
And it's no disrespect to those who have formal training in the profession. It is a profession. It's a professional occupation for sure.
I'll make a
Well, I
motion
think, go on.
to go ahead and direct the town attorney to amend the ordinance, including our job description, add a draft to bring it back, and if we see anything that needs to be corrected, we can amend it at that point in time.
I'll second that.
Yeah, we will have,
Okay.
I guess, maybe. Okay, let me get my bearings here. Regarding update to town manager's job description, we have a motion by Mr. Carnahan, seconded by Mr. Parker, to instruct the town attorney to draft an amendment to the ordinance and job description for the town manager, and to also make this in draft copy for the council to review before official action is taken.
We'll take action on the first reading, and then we can amend it
Okay.
if necessary for the second reading.
Okay, I understand now, Bob. Okay,
Yeah, that keeps it moving.
all right. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Discussion, please.
I just want to emphasize that we're a growing community with water problems, sewer problems, and that's what I'm looking for. You know, nothing against working dogs. There's plenty of working dogs in the world, but we've got to get some professionalism also in all these problems we have and some experience. That's why I'm looking, and I would hope we'd all be looking for someone with some experience in all these areas that we have such problems with currently, with our infrastructure especially.
There's problem solvers in all areas of business and finance, also.
Okay. Thank you for the discussion. Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Richard Seal?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nick Recupedo?
Yes, motion carries 7-0.
Mary Jo, no disrespect, I just have one more thing to add. Sometimes, and we've had town managers in the past that I have wanted choked. These schools, like Indiana University, and they're great schools, they churn out municipal managers every day, but no one really thinks, I mean, once you have to be in a for-profit world, you have to think about your customers. A lot of times, we've gotten people here that were groomed to be municipal managers that don't give a damn about the taxpayer. And I just feel like somebody that has had to make something work in the for-profit world has just as much potential as trying to think about taxpayers and their decisions as a customer, rather than municipal managers that don't give a damn about what the taxpayers have to contend with. That's just, and I've seen it in the past, and it always drove me insane, and I fear that for the future. So that's no offense to anybody.
All right, thank you. We'll move on to number 5, approval to advertise for town manager position.
This really isn't ready.
No?
Well, you don't have a description.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to defer this.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Rivera, seconded by Mr. Parker, to defer this item of advertising for town manager position. Mr. Rivera, which meeting?
Will it be ready, Dave, by our next meeting?
Yeah, maybe.
We'll just defer it.
Okay, the 21st? All right, thank you. Any discussion?
That was the 21st?
Yeah, the 21st. Is there no discussion? Roll call, please, Ms. Sandberg.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Richard Seal?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nick Recupedo?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Number 6, year 2025 professional services agreement with Christopher B. Burke Engineering. Inside our packet, we have a proposal from Christopher Burke Engineering. I don't know if you folks have had a chance to review it. Looks like we're still getting some kind of discount from, so this is the term of January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025. There will be an increase in the schedule of charges for outside charges to the town to match their 2020 standard charges, so we're getting a 5-year discount. And town charges are discounted further from their 2020 standard charges, offering the town a significant reduction in those charges. So, and there's a whole bunch of other details in here too.
I've been happy with their work.
Okay.
I would agree,
Say it a
especially with all the work that they have going on with the west side currently,
Yeah.
with water exploration and stuff like that.
Do a great job.
Yeah,
We're gonna need a lot more.
yeah.
Is that a motion, Ms. Rivera?
I make a motion to accept the professional services agreement with Christopher Burke.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion by Ms. Rivera, seconded by Mr. Teal, to accept the year 2025 professional services agreement with Christopher B. Burke Engineering. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Richard Thiel?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nick Recupido?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Move on to reports, town council reports. Mr. Carnahan.
Dear appointed NERC commissioners, as we come to the end of 2024, I want to thank you for your faithful commitment representing your home community at the NERC table, Northwest Indiana Regional Planning table. As you are well aware, this region experienced profound changes, and it is more important than ever that the region locally elected officials coordinate closely to take good advantage of those changes and help lift everyone up together. Active participation in Northwest Indiana Regional Planning meetings goes beyond the millions of dollars that are allocated to projects throughout the region. The meetings afford the opportunity to connect with elected officials such as yourself from other parts of the region and establish relationships that can quickly become beneficial when your community needs help. And I attended every meeting last year, and sometimes, like the last meeting, we had to pass a budget in December in order to have it ready in January. And they had to call the mayor of Portage because we were one member short to have a quorum. And he did show up, and we did pass the budget. And so we'll have 4 official full commission meetings, which the first one will be January 16th, May 15th, April 21st, and December 18th. I also try to attend the executive meetings, which I try to give as much input in there as I can. And hopefully I'm representing all the residents of Cedar Lake to benefit good success for our opportunities to get money.
Thank you.
Great job. Thanks, Bob.
All right, that was one item. Next item.
You made a quota, Bob.
All right. Well, this is important.
No, I'm just kidding.
The Chamber of Commerce is going to have a luncheon every 2 months. And the next one will be February 14th at Harrio's. The price has not been determined yet, but the speaker will be Jeff Bungie, our town manager. And it is open to the public, so if anybody wants to go to that, they can contact the chamber at 219-374-6157. And you can hear what our town manager gets to say, what's happening in Cedar Lake.
What was the time on that, Bob?
It's usually at 12.
At 12 noon? Okay.
Bob, I know in the past, they did have a dinner at one time, because like typically during the day, like if I get an invite to those, it's kind of hard to get away. You know, they do.
Well, I don't know if that's going to...
Because I know when they had a dinner when I was...
We did try that, and it worked out pretty well, so we can have discussion on that.
Yeah, because I'd like to see the dinner ones, because I'm...
Board of Directors.
Yeah.
I have a request, Bob. Could you please report on the golf outings that are going to be happening this year? I was talking with my brother-in-law and brother, and you gave us a report on that last year, and do you hear the golf outings?
It's scheduled already, but
It's scheduled.
Yeah, okay.
And
You're my go-to guy.
I believe it's going to be at the same course. They were looking at another course with the potential of that course joining the chamber, but at our last meeting, which was Thursday, that other course had not joined yet. But I think they're going to stay at the one they were at last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think. Don't.
I won't quote you.
Don't quote me on that.
All right.
But I don't know what it is.
Thank you, Bob.
And when I get information, I'll pass it on.
All right, I appreciate it.
All right.
Any other town council reports?
Yeah, Mr. President, I did email the whole council the 2024 unsafe building department annual report this afternoon. I wasn't gonna read the whole report to you guys, but basically, throughout the year, 5 structures were demoed by the town, 5 other structures were demoed by property owners, 2 of which were by issued of the emergency action was gonna take place, and they ended up doing it themselves. Of course, we all know that the unsafe ordinance was updated, and then also the creation of the non-reverting fund. But the rest of the data, as far as addresses and stuff on those, were in the report.
Okay, yeah, I briefly looked at it, good work there. And we're doing a little bit more outreach to communicate with these folks before they get up here. Yeah, you've been working on that.
Yeah, and that's in the, like, the letters to them, and I've already had some discussion with Mr. Connolly and stuff, last week, on that, and trying to come up with, the basic type of letter, whether it's a, safety type issue, if it would be within the, emergency action, or if it's just something that come in and get with, permits and get stuff taken care of. I didn't add all of those into the report as far as, the ones that just had to have railings taken down from decks, replacement of, soffits and stuff like that. But this, we're trying to get a letter, hashed out to try to figure out we can send it out to instead of having them just right away come to the meetings.
Yeah, good idea. Thanks for your work on that, Rich.
I've got one other thing. The chamber is working with the DNR, and we're taking, I believe, 75 of the Christmas trees that we had, of the 165 we had out there, and Tim, I guess, are going to be stored down at the Public Works.
Correct.
And then the DNR is going to work with the chamber in determining where to put these trees in Cedar Lake, which they have full control over the lake, and it's for habitat for the fish. And I'm very pleased Kevin Toth basically spearheaded that and made that happen.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
I want to thank Carl for the information on the electrical bike ordinance,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd like to see if we can direct Mr. Austin to create that before the warmer weather starts. I don't know if you got a copy of that information or not. So, Carl, would you forward it to him so we can get that working? Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ms. Dixon. Anything else?
No,
Okay. If there's no more town council reports, we will move on to number 2, town attorney, Attorney Austin.
No, I have no reports.
Thank you, sir. Clerk Treasurer, Ms. Sandberg.
Council, I just have a request. The annual Board of Finance meeting needs to occur before the end of this month. So if you could please get that scheduled, so we can do it. The last couple of years, we've done it the last week of January. So if that one day that week could work out for everybody.
Okay.
We do have that extra week this month, so as far as I'm aware, there are no other Board or Commission meetings that week.
Okay.
And it's usually a relatively quick meeting.
Can it be done at the 21st?
I don't know if I will have enough time to prepare the proper finances by then.
Okay. Would you like the town manager's office to get working on scheduling that then?
If we could, please.
Okay. Mr. Bungie, please.
Okay, yep.
All right. Thank you,
Good
ma'am.
minutes.
Anything else?
Nothing.
Okay, thank you.
Make sure we meet that requirement to have that meeting.
Okay. Speaking of Mr. Bungie, town manager.
I really have no report other than, I appreciate the confidence that, you guys have in me, and, look forward to plugging away every day.
Yeah, thank you for taking this on, Jeff.
Plodding through maybe sometimes, but we tend to make headway, I think, I hope.
Yeah.
Good luck on Valentine's Day, you and Bob.
Thanks. I believe I think that is a luncheon, that's the way it was explained to me, so, but we'll get clarification.
That one's a luncheon. I'm just saying they're going to try to rotate them after that.
All right, very good, thank you, sir. Mr. Kubiak, Director of Operations.
We have a couple issues with lift station 1 in South Shore subdivision. One of the pumps is out and in for service. Guys got it pulled out of there, got it taken in, so it's running on one pump right now, which is fine as long as we don't have a monsoon or anything crazy happen, but hopefully we'll have it in first of next week and back up and at it, so.
Before the thaw.
Before the thaw. It will definitely be in before the thaw, so. So we're in the mode of checking all those out and making sure and getting the other ones. We're gonna get the other pumps out of the lift station 3 and get them in and get them serviced one at a time while it's the slow time, just so we've looked into it, and it's been about 10 years since that's been done, so it's time to get them serviced and make sure that they're running good, so they're working on that. That's it. The mechanic is still there and doing well, getting a feel for what's going on, so I think we should be able to start getting some police cars and getting some oil changes and getting stuff going, so that's also a positive direction, so it's a good thing.
Good news.
In the crew worker, did he already start the new one, or?
Nope, the crew worker is, I believe, we're shooting for next Monday, Jen, but I don't know how that's all going with your...
Yeah, just working on onboarding this week, and hopefully everything will be in place for Monday start. Just depends on how onboarding goes.
And he has a CDL license.
Correct, yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Good find.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, we had 5, we had quite a few applicants, due to the Indeed deal and the regular, but, we did 5 interviews, which all were pretty good, you know, so it's nice. We had some people to select from, so that was awesome.
Good deal. All right. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Police Department, Chief Brittingham.
Nothing really new. We're taking applications. We do now have a definite vacancy for at least one position for 2025. We'll present that to the Board of Safety at our next meeting. I have a letter of retirement. So if anybody knows anybody that wants to be the police and see the light, come fill out an application, because we need at least one person immediately and maybe more.
Okay.
Spread the word.
Yeah. Anything else, Chief?
That's about it.
Okay.
Hoping for a good year.
Yeah, we all are. Yep. Thank you, sir. Fire Department, Chief Welkening.
Well, piggyback on what Carl said, we're hoping for a good year, but we had a pole fall on our ambulance today. And that didn't start out very good. I did send it out to all of you guys, all the pictures and everything.
Talk about Murphy's Law.
I'm just glad they were in the ambulance and not 10 feet off to one side, because that pole could have came down and hurt somebody.
No.
But I did ask the truck driver how long he's been driving a truck. He told me about 10 months, and I said, kind of looks like it. But, yeah, it was, I don't know, just one of those things. That ambulance is a magnet for just crazy stuff to happen.
Is it the white one or
The red one.
that was the red one?
How much damage?
We don't know right now. I had Tommy come up and take a look at it from Tommy Little's, take a look at it, and then when you got calls into the manufacturer, and it's got 2 good-sized holes in the roof, and it's got where the support beam goes across the back, it's got a good gash in it.
Is it totaled where we can get it?
No, it's not total. We fixed it enough, we're still using it. It's gonna take a while to get it in. So we're probably not gonna.
Is it gonna be a new top, or can the top be repaired, you think?
Yeah, it can be repaired, yeah. So it's gonna take a long time before it can get in, because nobody's, everybody's so far behind in doing everything, so, I called Nick this morning, I'm like, well, I didn't wanna start the year off bad, but here we go, so that. Also, the fire department, had another milestone as far as calls this year, was 2,182 calls for service. And our year-end report will be ready by the next meeting, so that'll all be detailed in that, by request of the council.
Okay. Thank you, Chief.
Mr. Chief Welkening, now, the repairs though, that would be insurance claim against the truck drivers?
Yeah, all the proper paperwork was turned in, the police department did a report, and, I talked to Margot, she handles all the insurance. Margot will, wait for the report to come from the police department, and then we'll go through the town insurance. And then our insurance company will go after their insurance. It was a good-sized trucking company, so.
Yeah.
And he had all the proper insurance information, so.
Were they delivering there or turning around?
I think he was just turning around.
And maybe this is something for Tim, but I talked with Chuck about this a few days ago. They have weight limit sign, and I'm here to tell you they don't really follow any of those signs anywhere, but it's kinda hard to see with the small print, and I was at Dunkin' Donuts the other day, and I saw a 53-footer pull in their same location, and he backed out, or he was trying to back out on 133rd to go back to Wicker.
Ironically, while he was there, a Walgreens semi came in and made a delivery.
Really?
So, but we knew he wasn't supposed to be there, he wasn't making a delivery, so.
So I don't know if you can put a bigger print sign there, because it's kinda hard to see for westbound traffic. Maybe they're seeing it once they've already committed. Just a thought, maybe to take a look at
They
it.
follow their GPS, and once they're committed, they keep going.
Yeah, yep,
Almost everyone we stop, they're following their GPS.
yeah. The wrong GPS too. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you all. Parks Department, Ms. Ray?
Hi, I have nothing to report at this time
Okay.
for council.
All right. Any questions for Ms. Ray? All right, thank you, ma'am. Written communication, Building Department report. I think, is this a December report we have in the packet?
I believe so.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's in the packet for everybody to see. Any questions on the report?
None?
No? Okay. There's no other written communication that you've had, Ms. Sandberg, for the
I have
council?
not received anything.
Okay, very good. We'll move on to public comment for council. Public comment? Please state your name and address for the record.
Sarah Miller, 654 West 136.
Okay.
So I just have a couple questions. The previous council had some good initiatives that I just want to make sure are where they're at. So the sidewalks on Lake Shore and also 133rd. I was told you guys might be talking about that in February. And you can possibly have the engineer available for questions. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
So we just talked about that in executive session.
Yeah, Mr. Bungie, you could probably
Well,
fill us into...
I think we talked, did you call me this morning?
Yes.
Or was it today? Okay. That is a program that is, that our engineer had, kind of programmed into, something for future funding. We did find a niche for it, kind of in, a funding category. May not happen until like 2030, but, it's certainly not anything any farther along than just being in kind of the pie-in-the-sky planning, as of right now. We got a little bit of work to do before that's gonna be.
It's not canceled, it's just not talked about.
Yeah, well, we have VS Engineering, and I don't know if you're mentioning, Ms. Miller,
Well, we're
the-
talking the sidewalk that was discussed from Faith Church to the corporate, eastern boundary, Robin's Nest and Lakeside.
Mhm.
And then we're also discussing going from the chamber down to Constitution down here. And then, engineering will be here at our next meeting, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, that'd be great, because I always see people walking in the street, and since we don't have trails, it'd be a nice thing to start with. And then I know the dredge what's done of it is done. I was just curious if there's any further initiatives to clean the lake. I mean, the Christmas tree
Well,
is cool, but.
Since you mentioned that, I'm going to constantly be telling people, the dredging project was not to dredge the whole lake.
Right.
The dredging project was only to dredge 20% of the lake, which we did about 69.2% of that 20%. So we accomplished a lot, but we found ourselves faced, we had taken $4.4 million out of the sewer funds, and we had to take 2.1 and put it back in the sewer funds because we needed those funds for the sewer. But, Jeff's administrative assistant, Kirsten Smith, she looked and tried to find everywhere possible to find funds, so we didn't have to stop that. So we tried very hard not to stop it, but we gotta take care of the town.
That's fine. I mean, beyond dredging, there's other programs and...
I really think we do not own that lake. It is owned by the state of Indiana. They should be fixing the lake. It shouldn't be our responsibility. We put a lot of money into that lake. And, I think the state needs to step up to the plate and, take care of their property.
Are you talking to the state?
We have.
We have.
3 years.
So it's a continuing process, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, my opinion, Ms. Miller, on this whole matter is that a lot of things in the past years have been left behind and a lot of things need to be corrected. This is speaking as somebody that has property that is adjacent to the lake where I can use the lake as much as I can. Me right now, that's not a priority. We have water issues in town, we have sewer issues in town, we have issues with keeping and attracting talent for our public safety departments. These are things we had to shift focus on, in my opinion, to kind of right the ship. And
an $18 million with 2 buildings that have no water.
yeah.
Those are priorities.
Yeah, so I mean, if somebody wants to spend some money on that lake to improve it, as Mr. Carnahan said, the state or something, I would welcome them with open arms, you know. But we've got a handful of things that are certainly high priorities for the sustainability of this town going forward that we're focusing on.
That's fair and fine if it's not the priority. I just want to make sure it's not considered unimportant and just not attempted to be addressed.
Right.
Yeah, we looked at a number of different programs. We've talked to the state, we've talked to the auditor, the surveyor's office, as far as, we have one regulated drain in and out of Cedar Lake, and it's Cedar Creek right along through here. The county won't help with anything other than what they consider their registered drain. So the county's not gonna be a whole lot of help. We did go through, March of last year, right at the change of seasons. We have a number of stormwater collection basins, handful of them around town. We worked very diligently with Public Works folks, and they were able to, with the vac trucks, clean those out and get them in a better working order for the subsequent spring and summer seasons. So we're trying to be very proactive in keeping the bad stuff now out of the lake that we've put all this time and effort into.
And I'm in communications with State Senator Rick Niemeyer. In my next conversation, I'll ask him what can the state do to help the lake be improved.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'd like to be in that conversation.
Cheryl Parker, 7227 West 136th Court. Speaking of the public safety building, I just wonder what the status is on the occupancy. I know the water main is in, everything's going. We have some testing that items still have a list of, right, Tim? Items still have things that we had to do. What's the status on that? People know.
We're still waiting for IDEM to approve us to send the water there. And once they give us the permit to send it there, then we got a 45-day waiting period.
It's gonna be a while.
Okay, and are we, per the contract with the agreement with the contractor, are we still liable for paying the $5,000 a month to them until occupancy is done?
That's my
In place?
my understanding, ma'am, yeah.
Do we have that budgeted?
There's, it's in the owner's contingency, I believe. Yeah.
All right, one other thing, I'm on the Park Foundation now. There's 2 of us at this point. I have some possible grants that I was looking at, but I don't know what the status is on this whole thing. I mean, we now have a park board, we have a park 5-year plan, but what's the status with us if we want to pursue the grants and whatever we can get?
We're still looking for applicants.
So at this point, we're not doing anything then. I can't really go and fill out any application for a grant or anything.
Can she, Dave?
Dave, can they do?
Well, it's a legal entity that is validly in existence and has been for a long time.
Since
Sure.
2011.
We agree,
Mm-hmm.
we agree. We sparred over this,
Mm-hmm.
not anymore. And there is a need for another board member,
We can have five, right?
We need that third member.
between 3 and 5.
Okay, so at this point, nothing can be done.
It's in limbo.
You can get the grant app written.
Well, it's due March 1st, so.
Well,
That's why I'm asking.
they,
I
need to give us a hand with selecting a
Okay,
board
and-
member or two.
I think we would be doing that at probably our next meeting.
Yes.
Okay, I think it would be a good idea to pursue one other person so we can get going on this, because really, 2024, we didn't have anything going on except, you know, getting the board in place and then the five-year plan. We have a whole piece of property here that basically is bare. The trees were stripped. I'd like to see trees go into place, maybe some shelters, you know, band shell down the road, gazebo that got knocked down. I'd like to see that go into place and get going on something.
The gazebo you're working on, right?
That's actually a council affair.
We got that, Tim and I are taking care of that.
You guys are working on it, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay.
It's a spring project.
The gazebo will get replaced.
Okay, so legally, at this point, we can apply for it with just the two of us. We can still, it's a viable entity, so we can go ahead and
It is
apply
legal.
for that. Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Parker.
Thank you.
All right. Last call for public comment for council.
Angie Michaelachek, 12806 Lee Court. I just wanted to ask if we could be a little more proactive on getting dogs registered in the town. There's always a lot of loose dogs around that are found, and I was surprised, I don't get this in the mail because we pay electronically, and I was surprised that it wasn't even in here, time to register your dogs. And I was just wondering if we could possibly be a little more proactive on that.
Is there something that could be put on the website in the meantime, and then,
We'll talk to Kirsten about that in the morning.
Okay.
and then in the next newsletter, maybe?
Yeah, because they expire in January,
Okay.
so.
Ms. Ray, did you have a
Just with
comment?
the inception of the dog park from the Parks Department, you guys have seen a flux of, registration for your dog licensing,
Yeah.
because that is a requirement to be, if you're a resident of Cedar Lake, you have to have your annual tag to register for the dog park. So you're actually seeing more enforcement than you have in years past, just with the opening of the
Yes, and
dog
only
park.
3 dogs are allowed.
Okay.
So-
Well, Mr. Bungie will take care
I
of
know that it is
Yeah,
2 dogs?
2-dog limit at the dog park.
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't talking about the dog park, I apologize. Yeah, 'cause I know they do put it on the website, when comes like February or March, because I think you have a certain amount of time.
High school.
There's a discounted period through, what, the end of March?
End of March,
Yes,
yes.
it's January through March. Traditionally, we put something in the utility bill in January, but I felt it was more prudent to put the information on the increased garbage rate in this month's bill.
And I've talked to Kirsten Smith, who does the newsletter, and she, I showed her another community's newsletter, and she really liked some of that stuff, so she's going to try to redesign that, and
Okay.
she's going to take another approach to how she lays it out.
I just know it's an issue in Cedar Lake with a lot of lost and found dogs, and I just thought it would help. Thank you.
And
That's fine.
there's a potential for a new newspaper coming to the community.
Ooh, that would be nice.
But I tried to get a hold of the guy that wants to start it. He hasn't returned my call, but he said he's gonna start it out as a digital print and then eventually try to bring a paper, and they're gonna call it South Lake Spot or something.
Oh, that's nice.
If they can get the financial support to get it off the ground.
Okay, that's great. That'll help with pets. Thank you.
Ms. Michaelachek. Thank you. All right, if there's nobody else for public comment for the council, public comment is now closed. Our next meeting will be Tuesday, January 21st, 2025 at 7 p.m. This meeting is now adjourned at 8:16 p.m. Thank you.